Hi everyone, Mr. B here, and today we're going to take a little trip around the world. This is a game called Around the World that basketball shooters use to improve their shooting. Now, because we're at home right now, and not everybody may have a basketball, it's hard for us to make sure that we're working on dribbling and all the other skills that we would need in basketball. But you can play this game with almost any kind of ball. In fact, I'd recommend if you're going to play this inside, you use soft balls. We'll go over that more in just a minute. But first, before we worry about the game, let's talk about the skill we're working on, which is the basketball shot. Now, one thing that's commonly misunderstood by students is that we shoot a basketball with one hand. And some of you are thinking, we go like this. And that's the problem with most younger students is they push the ball out of their chest using both hands. But that's more what we would call a push pass than a shot. And while both hands are going to be involved in the process, we're actually going to be shooting with one hand. So let's take a look at it from the side so you can see. So here's my basketball. It's in the one hand. Okay, now the other hand is off here. I'm holding it off so you can see it. Then I'm going to put it on the side. Now let me show you from this side. Back up a little bit. So this hand is just touching the ball, but it's not really going to be involved in the shot. And then from this side, here we go. So that's what we want to look like. Now, as we get ready to shoot, we're going to bend our knees a little bit here, and we're going to make this shape with our arm. And that should look like the letter L. Now, as we're getting ready to shoot, we're going to straighten our body and make the letter I. We got to back up a little more. And then we're going to say goodbye to the ball. So let me do it without the ball. L-I, goodbye. L-I, goodbye. With the ball now, again, I'll back up a little bit. L-I, goodbye. L-I, goodbye. L-I, goodbye. Now get a little closer here so you can just focus on this part. And I want you to see what it does to the ball. So as I say goodbye to the ball, so I'm just going to do this part now. You'll see that the ball spins a little bit, and that's something that becomes important when we move into a ball like a basketball. Okay? So that's the shooting motion again. Little bend in the knees. We're not going to actually be jumping, which we might do on a basketball court, but if there's no defender in front of you, often we're just going to use a bend in the knees and the L-I goodbye. And again, it is on with one hand. The other hand here is just off to the side. It's just supporting the ball so the ball doesn't fall out of our hand, but it's not part of the shot. Okay, and this is going to be my dominant hand, by the way, that I'll be shooting with. All right, so that's with the basketball. Now, since not all of you are going to have one of these, this is just a simple shooting game that you can play with anything. So let me show you how I set it up. I have 6 spots, and that's going to be my world. To win the game, I have to get all the way around the world. So I have 6 cones here, and they're the rainbow colors: red, blue, orange, green, blue, yellow. Those are my 6 spots. Now here's my basket. So all I did was put a trash can upside down, and I'm going to be shooting at the bucket. Now if you're shooting at a bucket and you have it on top of something like that, it's a good idea to put something inside it. I just use a bunch of these cones so it weighs down, just in case the ball hits the bucket. We don't want it to fall over and ruin the game. So put something kind of heavy in it, and that's how we set this up. All right, now, here's how you play around the world. If you're playing against somebody, both players start from spot 1, and player 1 would get to shoot. Let's say they miss. If they miss, they would stay here. Player 2 would then take their turn. If player 2, I'm not actually going to shoot these yet, player 2 makes it, then player 2 gets to move to spot 2 and take their shot there. If they make it, they get to move on to spot 3. They go on until they stop making it. So let's say player 2 misses this shot, so now they're stuck here. Then player 1 gets their turn, and they get to shoot. Again, if they miss, they stay. If they make it, they go on, and they keep going until they miss. And so you just take turns in that fashion until the first player makes it from the 6th spot, and that person is the winner. Okay, so that's how you would play against somebody. But I don't have anybody to play with or against today, so I'm going to do this as a minute to win it. So I'm going to put the timer right over here in just a moment, and then I'm going to have 1 minute to make it all the way around the world. So in this case, since I play by myself, I'm actually going to use 6 different balls. And this is where if you're playing inside, something like a softball would work well because you can make 6 of those. You can also use 6 different types of balls, but if you're playing inside, Definitely something soft. This one's a yarn ball, so it's soft. It won't hurt anything. Nerf balls would be fine. Or if you come outside, choose whatever kind of ball that you would like. Now also, if you're using a bigger ball like a mini basketball or even a real basketball, you should probably make your basket much bigger and use something the size of, say, the trash can instead of the bucket. But vary the game up in different ways to see how challenging you want it to be. Small basket, big ball, that's going to be pretty challenging. If you have a huge basket and a tiny ball, it's probably going to be a lot easier. So you decide how you want to do it. All right, but I'm doing yarn balls. I have 6 spots, and I have to make all 6 shots before the minute is over. Again, in this version, I do need 6 balls because that will save me time, because after I make this one, I don't want to have to fish it out of the bucket and then go back to the next spot. So that way all the balls are here, and again, the only way I'm going to go get that ball is if I miss, and I'm going to miss at least once or twice in this game probably. I'll go get that ball and come back to the same spot. I also color-coded them, so hopefully it's a little bit easier to see. All right, so that's Around the World. Again, I'll be playing it as Minute to Win It, so let's get it started. All right, everybody, I'm all set. Remember, I'm doing this as Minute to Win It, so I have 6 different balls. If I miss, I have to go get it. If I make it, I just move on to the next spot. So when you're doing it, if you miss, you got to move fast. All right, everybody, here we go. Oops, timer went up. All right, here we go.
It begins in 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody, I made it around the world in 60 seconds. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to the timer. It stopped counting. You heard the buzzer. I made it. All right, everybody. Sorry about the issue with the timer. Technology. All right, everybody. So I hope you have a good time playing this one. I had a good time. That was challenging, though. Didn't make it by much, and as you can see, I'm out of breath. Every time you miss, you got to run fast to get back there. So quickness helps, but make sure before you take that shot, settle down, concentrate on your form. L-I, goodbye. Make sure you get that wrist flick there when you're saying goodbye to the ball. Very important. All right, everybody. Practice, practice, practice. We'll see you in the next segment. All right, everybody. I came back real quick. I checked the tape. 50 seconds was my time, so you can time it if you don't believe me. All right. Also, it occurred to me, I mentioned sock balls but didn't show you how to make them. I don't really need to show you this anymore, do I? I think I've done this like 50 times. All right, but again, just in case, if you're playing inside, this is an excellent choice because you could do 6 balls very easily. Roll them up, push the ball through, bam, you got a sock ball. You could also use paper balls if you're playing inside. Again, be creative, use anything. And then for the basket, remember, buckets, laundry baskets, cardboard boxes, anything. So again, be creative, use what you can find around the house. Have fun. All right, this time I really mean it. I'll see you in the next section.